Hello mathematicians, in this video we are going to learn how to multiply fractions and whole numbers. Let's begin. So step one, if there is a whole number, you'll make it a fraction by putting it over the number 1. Now you can make any whole number into a fraction by just putting it over 1. You're going to get to see some examples of that later. Next, you're going to cross cancel if that's possible. Number 3, you're going to multiply straight across. And finally, number 4, you simplify by reducing the fractions or changing improper fractions to a mixed number. Let's do a quick warm up to refresh ourselves. We have 2/5 times 6/7. 6/7. I'm going to prepare my answer. So what we do is we just multiply across. It doesn't have to have common denominators or anything like that. We just multiply straight across. 2 times 6 is 12, and 5 times 7, well, that is 35. Now, this is not an improper fraction because the numerator is smaller than the denominator, and it can be reduced. 2 doesn't go into 12 or 35, nor does 3 or 7. So this is our final answer. We can box it. Let's look at some more examples, some trickier ones. As you can see, we have two versions, an A version and a B version of these problems, and they are exactly the same because we're going to try some of them by using cross-canceling, and we're going to try the other half without cross-canceling, and you're going to get to see the difference in how much work there is. I personally love cross-canceling. I think it's kind of fun. So let's try this one. Number 1, if there's a whole number, make it a fraction by putting it over 1. Well, 15 times 2/3, we got to turn 15 into a fraction, so we just put it over 1. So 15 now turns into 15 over 1. Nice. So before we multiply straight across 15 times 2 and 1 times 3, I'm going to cross-cancel. What that means is I can basically reduce numbers like 15 and 3. If they're like diagonal across from each other, I can actually reduce them, or 1 to 2. Or even if they're across the line, like you can really cross cancel anything. You can't cross cancel straight across, like 15 and 2, you can't do that, or 1 and 3, that doesn't work. But if you go across that fraction bar diagonally or straight up and down, you can cross cancel. So let's look at 15 and 3. Can you reduce 15 and 3? Well, yes, you can divide them both by 3. And 15 divided by 3 is 5. I'm going to write it right above. And 3 divided by 3 is 1. And I'm going to write that right below. Now, can we cross cancel or reduce 1 and 2? No. 1 and 5. 2 and 1? No. All right, so let's prepare our answer. 5 times 2, that is 10. 1 times 1, that's 1. And can we simplify this? Well, 10 divided by 1 is just 10. So that's our answer. Let's try it without cross-canceling. Again, we're going to start off by putting it over a 1. And then we're going to do what we usually do, which is multiply straight across. 15 times 2, which is 30. 1 times 3, that's 3. And we do have to reduce this. And what goes into 30 and 3? Well, 3 does. So divide the top by 3 and the bottom by 3. 30 divided by 3 is 10. And 3 divided by 3 is 1. And again, 10 divided by 1 is just 10, so that's our answer. So that's the difference in work. Now, it doesn't seem like much of a difference. It will seem, you will see a difference when the numbers start getting bigger. Let's take a look at 3a and 3b. Let's start off with 3a. There is no whole number, so we're good there. But I can cross-cancel 4 and 24. You can cross-cancel that. They're both even, so 2 definitely works. But if you're good with your multiplication tables, you'll know that you can also divide both of them by 4. Now, if you divide it by 2, that's okay. You can still continue cross-canceling. So, and I'll show you in a moment what I mean by that. So 4 divided by 4 is 1, and 24 divided by 4 is 6. All right, so 1 and 6, I can't continue to cross-canceling. Let's look at 7 and 14. Can I cross-cancel or reduce those? I can, because 7 and 14, 7 goes into both of them. So 7 divided by 7 is 1, and 14 divided by 7 is 2. Now, something you may notice is, wait a minute, this is 1 over 1 times 2 over 6. Wait a minute, 2 over 6, can't I reduce that? I can, because I can divide them both by 2. And 2 divided by 2 is 1. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Now, here are my fractions. 1 over 1 times 1 over 3. So 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 3 is 3. And that's our answer. We can't reduce it, and it is a proper fraction. Now, if you had not reduced this, you would have had 2 over 6. and you would have had to reduce it later. So it really doesn't matter when you reduce or when you do these cross cancelings. It's just kind of nicer to work with smaller numbers. I'll show you what I mean on this example. So here we are just going to multiply straight across like we usually do. 4 times 14, well, 4 times 10 is 40, times another 4, that's 56. 7 times 24, that's a little bit complicated, but if you're good at math, you'd know that it's 168. Great. Now, I have to reduce this, and I guess they're both even, so I can divide them by 2, and 56 divided by 2 is 28. 168 divided by 2 is 84. But as you can see, these numbers are big, and it's just a lot more complicated to reduce this. Now, is there a number that goes into 28 and 84? Well, 2 does, but thankfully I'm good with my 7's multiplication tables, and I know that 7 goes into both of them as well. So if you divide 28 by 7, you get 4. And if you divide 84 by 7, you get 12. And we're still not done. We can divide them both by 2 because they're both even, or I'm good with my multiplication tables. I know that I can divide both of them by 4 as well. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 12 divided by 4 is 3. And I box that answer. As you can see, I could have kept going. If I was bad with division and multiplying, this could have lasted a while. So when you cross cancel, you're basically taking these smaller numbers and making them smaller. Whereas if you multiply straight across, you start off with some pretty big numbers that you have to reduce, which can make things difficult. Let's go ahead and, so cross canceling, at the beginning makes reducing at the end much easier. Unfortunately, that got covered. So let's take a look at number 4a and 4b. I'm going to try to cross cancel this one and not that one, but you can try this on your own. Pause the video if you'd like. Anyhow, 1 and 5 can't be cross canceled. 1 is, already simplified. 4 and 4, oh, that's easy. You can divide both 4 and 4 by 4, and 4 divided by 4 is 1, and 4 divided by 4 up there is also 1. So now I have two numbers being multiplied, 1 over 1 times 1 over 5. So 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 5 is 5, and that's it. There's nothing more you can do. Let's take a look at this one. Do it the traditional way without cross-canceling. 1 times 4 is 4. 4 times 5 is 20. And then you have to reduce by 4. So divide both those numbers by 4. You end up with 1 over 5, just like the other one. Let's go ahead and take a look at number 5. You can try this one by pausing the video. If you don't want to, just watch on. We have a whole number here, and remember what we have to do to turn it into a fraction? That's right, we put it over a 1. And so now we have 8 over 1 times 5 over 12, but not so fast. Before I just multiply 8 and 5, let's cross cancel. Let's see if we can cross cancel. Well, 8 and 12 are both even. Ooh, that's nice. So 2 definitely works, but 4 also works because I'm good at multiplying and dividing. Divide 8 by 4, and 12 can be divided by 4 as well. So 8 divided by 4 is 2. 12 divided by 4 is 3. 4, 8, 12. Now, is there any more I can reduce or cross multiply? No. So let's get my answers ready. 2 times 5 is 10. 1 times 3 is 3. And we can't box that yet. It's an improper fraction. Darn these improper fractions. We have to divide. So 10 divided by 3. 3 goes into 10 3 times. And 3 times 3 is 9. When we subtract 9, we end up with 1. And so we turn that into a fraction. 3 and 1 over 3. 3 and 1/3. So that is our answer. 10 over 3 is the same as 3 and 1/3. Go ahead and box that answer. It's reduced. It's ready to go. Go ahead and try number 6 if you'd like. It's much easier than 5, actually. All right, let's do it together. 4/10 times 2/6. Well, we can cross cancel 4 and 6. They're both even, so you can divide them both by 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. And let's take a look at 10 and 2. Oh, well, look at that. 10 and 2 can be divided by 2, so 10 divided by 2 is 5, and 2 divided by 2 is 1. Now, can we reduce any further? Looks like no. So let's start multiplying straight across. 2 times 1 is 2. 5 times 3 is 15. Is that a proper fraction? It is. Can I reduce it? I cannot. That means we box our answer. And now you know how to multiply fractions and cross cancel and multiply these fractions with whole numbers. Go ahead and try some on your own. Good luck.